Good evening, ladies. My name is Evelyn Fountain, and I am the owner of Mom's Little Corner. Thank you for joining me here again tonight on Thursday. You know what we're going to talk about tonight is autism. Tonight is Let's Talk Autism. And tonight is just an open forum. I am not a doctor. I am not giving any advice. I am only sharing my experience with having a child on the autism spectrum. I would like to thank you all for joining me tonight. If you have any questions at any point, please don't hesitate to ask me tonight. I just wanted to kind of talk about some of the things that I use with my son that's on the spectrum. Last week, we talked about some different things and techniques that you can use to help your child kind of regulate themselves if they're overstimulated. So I brought a couple of things that I use for my son Daniel throughout the day. Some of the things are just to help him with his schedule. Some of the things are to help him when he is in a frustrated moment and he is either head banging or biting. Those are some of the things that he does when he's frustrated. So the first thing I'm going to show you is this is considered a medical device, which is his helmet. Let me see.
Okay.
This is his helmet, and he wears this every day.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what it looks like inside, and this is how you close it up to keep it on your head. It has like a little button clasp. But for Daniel, he knows how to take this off, so he can take his helmet off, which is kind of an issue because when he's frustrated, he head bangs, and that could be his knee, that could be the wall, that could be the chair, the floor, whatever he decides to use in that moment of frustration is what he is going to use. So the helmet it was prescribed for him for the head banging because sometimes when children are on the spectrum, our adults are on the spectrum and they head bang, they can cause themselves to go blind. So it's to protect their head, their eyes, and everything that's going on inside of their brains. So it's a very, 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 very important medical device for children who head bang. The next thing is, I wouldn't say it's a medical device, but it is something that you can use if your child bites. Like I said, Daniel bites his wrist when he's frustrated. So this is called a chewy. Can you all see?
Mm-hmm.
So this is a chewy, and you can see it can bend, so it's not really hard or anything like that. And pretty much what he does with this is he just chews on it. I can use this sometimes. Sometimes he'll get it himself. You can wear it around your neck, but Daniel does not like wearing it around his neck. So some of them that I have the lanyard I guess it would be like a chain that you can pull apart. So I'll put that onto his jeans and then you can use it that way. There are many different chewies out there. So he has an Oreo chewy, he has a Spider-Man chewy, a Superman chewy. So they come in all shapes and sizes. And this is just for children who have sensory to oral, like they need something in their hand, something in their mouth to chew on. It's really good for them to chew on instead of biting in themselves or putting things that don't belong in their mouth is a good tool to use. The next thing I have is a timer. So I use this timer. It goes red and green. I use this timer when we're doing like bath time. If I want to let him know, okay, it's time to get out of the bath, because Daniel loves to stay in the tub. He will stay in the tub all night long if I let him. So I try to use this timer just so he knows, okay, when it's red, that means everything has to stop. Whatever we're doing, be it the tub or if we're playing with something, if this goes off, that means we're all done. So if it's green, we can still do whatever we're doing. So if it's a tub, we're good to be in the tub. Or if it's work, we can see that green means go, red means stop. So we use the timer. And then this is another good thing. This is called a pop it. So pretty much the kids just play with it like they pop it in. So this is the same. This is what we were talking about last week. So it's pretty quiet. Like if you listen, you can hear a little pop, but nothing major. So this is really good. He really likes to play with this, and these come in different colors, different shapes also.
And I'm still waiting to purchase mine.
Yes, I have that for you. We'll definitely talk after this. And this is a schedule that I have. So this is the AM schedule. And if you can see, it says make big, use bathroom, brush teeth, get dressed, eat breakfast. And so in the morning, what we do is once he gets up, we'll make the bed and I'll have him pull it off and then he'll put it on this side. That means all done. So same thing, brush your teeth. You put it on that side. So this is just for his morning routine.
Neat. That's neat.
And then this one says PM schedule. So it has eat dinner, brush teeth, take bath, PJs, and bedtime. And the same thing. We take one off, and then as we finish, we put it on the other side. And then once he completes his whole side, I just take everything and move it back to the opposite side. So we're ready for the next day. So those are some of the items that I use with Daniel just to help keep him, I don't want to say like regulated, but just help keep him calm and on task. And then another medical device, I don't want to call it a device, but another medical thing that's used with kids are people on the spectrum are animal support dogs. So with service dogs, you can train them to do special tasks for kids on the spectrum. Like Daniel's a wanderer, which means if Daniel has the opportunity to get free, he's going to take it and he's going to run. And when you have children that wander, sometimes they can get out of the house without you knowing, and they can become lost. So with the service dogs, you can train it to do special tasks. And one of the tasks that a service dog can perform is let's say if Daniel had a service dog, it would be find Daniel. So pretty much the service dog is trained to find the child that their partner. So we'll call it their partnership. So the dog will have Daniel scent, and if Daniel ever wandered, it will be able to find and track Daniel. So when I said Daniel head bangs and he bites, service dogs can be trained to stop the person from doing self-harm to themselves. So if Daniel was getting worked up and the dog kind of senses that he's getting worked up and he's about to start head banging, the dog can block. It's called block. So what the dog would do is pretty much like block Daniel so he's not able to do whatever, be it bang his head or bite his wrist. The dog would kind of put himself in between that action and Daniel. And then with different needs, the dog can be trained to do different things. Also, a lot of people on the spectrum get service animals for companion because when children and adults are on the spectrum, it's kind of hard for them to make friends. So that animal is pretty much like their best friend. They're together most parts of the day. Some service animals are allowed to go to school with the children if they can handle the service dog on their own. And if they're not, then the parent is going to be the main handler of the dog. So that means if a child has a service dog, like let's say Daniel, for instance, Daniel would not be able to be the I'm sorry. Chanel, were you going to say something?
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry.
Okay. So Daniel would not be able to be his service dog's only person. I would be the handler for the dog, and then Daniel would be the second person, but the dog would be Daniel. So everything that the dog is doing is performing to help Daniel. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, thank you, ladies. I'm back. So, um, so pretty much like a service dog is another medical device for children and people on the spectrum. It helps them navigate their day-to-day life. And that's pretty much the gist of the things that I wanted to show you guys and talk about. If anyone has any questions about any of the things that I showed or any questions about autism in general, I am ready to answer.
I have a question.
How are you, Powerhouse?
I'm fine. How are you? I just wanted to ask about the helmet that you showed. Is that the one that that's the one that Daniel wear?
Yes, this is Daniel's actual helmet right here. He wears this every day. You can kind of see it got a little bit of wear and tear. So pretty much once it wears and tears, you just get a new prescription for a new one. And what they do is they measure his head. So this is specifically for him. I mean, it could fit another child, but they measure each child's head before they get the helmet, just so they can have the right fit. And if you see, it's pretty squishy.
Oh wow!
Yes.
All right, but that's okay.
Yes, it's pretty soft. Now they do have different types of helmet, but this is the first helmet that he had. So as he grows, the helmet may change. I'm pretty sure they do have harder helmets, but this one right here is very like flexible.
I have a question. I'm
Yes.
sorry. So this is Chanel. So you said that he knows how to get out of it.
Yes. So if you see, this is how they close this helmet right here. So we actually have an appointment because he knows how to take it off. So I can put this helmet on him, but if he's getting ready to take it off, he's going to take it off. Daniel's very determined. So you pretty much, you just snap it on like this. And when he first got the helmet, he didn't know how to take it off. But after me putting it on him so many times, he figured out how to take it off. So he just pops it off and takes it off. So I brought it to his OT's attention. And then I also brought it to his pediatrician's attention that the helmet is not as effective anymore because he knows how to take it off. And with that, you know, like he can take it off, and if he wants to headbang, he just goes ahead and headbang. So it's really not working that well for him anymore. Now he does keep it on sometimes, but when he's ready to take it off, he just rips it off. Hi, Miss Rhonda, how are you doing tonight?
Fine, yourself?
Good. So tonight we were just talking, I just showed a couple of items that I use with Daniel on a daily basis. Like the helmet that I just had up is his helmet that he uses when he's headbanging. And then I showed the Pop It, which is a really good sensory toy for children on the spectrum, or even yourself if you have anxiety issues. This is a good tool that you can use. You can put it in your pocketbook. And then I have a Chewy because Daniel likes to he likes to put things in his mouth, and he likes to when he's upset, if he's not headbanging, he's gonna bite his wrist. So I try to use this as a deterrent for him to use instead of biting his wrist. And it's pretty it's bendable.
Okay.
It looks really hard, but it's not that hard. And then I have this alarm clock that I use when we're trying to do scheduling. And if I want him to know, like, we're going to start something or stop something, this light right here turns green and it turns red. So green means go, red means stop. And I use this so he knows we're about to stop doing something. And then I have these schedules. It's the AM, let's see, make sure. Yeah, this one is the AM schedule that I made, and then this one is the PM schedule that I made, and I will have these for parents that can purchase these for their children. And so pretty much like on the PM side, it says eat dinner, brush teeth, take a bath, PJs, and bedtime. And as your child goes through the list, all they have to do is pull it off and slide it to the side over here, and this means all done. and then
Okay.
you just reset it for your child, or have your child reset it so it's ready to go for the next morning or the next night.
Oh, okay.
Nice. I'll
That's
get that too.
awesome. Yes.
I have another question.
Yes.
Okay, so this is Chanel again. I wanted to go back to the Chewy. Now, when you tried to like bend it, it seems like it's pretty firm. Like, what's the wear and tear, or what's the life of a Chewy? Like, how long does it last?
Okay, so with anything that's going to be chewed, you definitely want to look at it to make sure the wear and tear. So this one is he's doing pretty good with this one, but he does have an Oreo Chewy that is pretty much done because like he really chewed it up. So that one is done. So it depends on how often your child is using the Chewy. He doesn't use this every day, and then he has multiple ones. So I would say the Oreo one was his favorite one, and that's why that one has the most wear and tear. But I would say you would definitely need to check it each time that your child is using it, because you want to make sure like there's no little pieces coming off of it. So if you can see this one, this doesn't have anything that's like chipped or any pieces coming off. Now, if you start to see that, and I would say he had this one for a while, I definitely would say it depends on how often your child is using it, and how they're using it is going to depend on how often you need to replace them. Or if you see any like little wear and tear, you can, just replace them. And then, like I said, it comes with this neck. So pretty much you wear it around your neck, but Daniel doesn't like to wear them around his neck. So sometimes I just let him have it in his hand, or I'll have like the lanyard pull tag, and I'll clip it to his pants. And sometimes that works. But other times I just pretty much like give it to him, or I'll have it and he'll pick it up if he wants it.
So it sounds like he likes to have his own way.
Yes, Daniel's very headstrong, and he knows what he wants, and when he's determined to do something, that's what he's gonna do. Very headstrong.
You talking about now?
Yes, I am talking about Daniel.
Wait.
Yeah.
Key. Oh, wait.
I have another question. Will he ever stop head banging?
To be honest, I'm not sure. Some children may grow out of that, but like I said, Daniel was my first person that I've dealt with that has autism. So I am still learning this autism journey. There may be a possibility that he can grow out of the head banging, but there may be a possibility that he doesn't. I would hope he grows out of it, just because that's a lot on your body. Just like if you were playing sports, or you were, riding a bike, and every day you rode your bike and you fell, that would do something to your body. So that's one reason why the helmet was prescribed. Like I said, depending on how hard a child head bangs, that can damage the eyes. So excuse me, it was a concern, because you don't want your child to go blind because they were head banging. So I'm not sure if children grow out of it, but I can look that up for you, and I'll get back to you with that.
I have a question. When you decide to get Daniel a toy or something, do you go to a Pacific store to purchase?
So when I look for things for Daniel one, I feel like out of all of my kids, he's the hardest to shop for. And I feel like I definitely look for sensory items when I'm shopping for him. Now, I can get him a car and he may like, okay, I'll play with this. But for kids on the spectrum, I've seen that they like swings and things that kind of compress them. And so with Daniel, I buy him a lot of things that, one, is going to be like educational, like things that he can use hands-on type things. So a lot of like shapes, puzzles, numbers, and I do that for my other son also. But with Daniel, I'm really looking like for things that have texture, because I know sometimes he likes to feel like stringy things or sticky things. So I kind of research sensory things that are good for autism children, and then I'll try things out with him. So he has a pod swing that he really likes. I can't keep it up all the time because it's pretty big. And then I also I don't know what it's really called, but I call it like the P. It's like, it looks like a boat and you blow it up and like you can get in it, and he really likes sitting in that. It's kind of like, it kind of compresses him a little bit also, so he likes getting in there. But he loves books, so I kind of do books, puzzles. And then here recently he's been getting into like stuffed animals, so he has a couple of stuffed animals. But for me, I just really try to like see what he's into, like what is he watching on YouTube, like, because that's his thing. And then I try to go from there, or like if he finds a movie that he likes. So right now, which I'm surprised, is he's watching Trolls. And before Trolls, it was The Good Dinosaur. Like he will watch The Good Dinosaur every day. So I started to get him dinosaurs, and he would play with the dinosaurs. So it just kind of goes based off of what I see him gravitating towards.
Okay. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Well, I'm sure that keeps you busy.
It definitely does, because you're constantly trying to see, because he might play with something one day and then the next day is like, oh no, I don't want this. So it's definitely a constant trying to figure out what he really likes. And you know, sometimes it's as simple as just putting him in the tub with some bubbles.
Wow.
Yes, he loves bubble baths, so I can put him in the tub, and he'll like, if I let him stay in the tub, he will be in there for 2 hours. And then bubbles, like he loves bubbles. I feel like I don't really do the slime, but he likes it. But you know, that slime is really messy. It is good for sensory, but it's really messy. So I don't really do too much of the slime, but it is, you know, I'll figure slime once in a while is okay.
Yes, that slime is very messy. I remember with Nana.
Yes.
I have a question. How much does a service dog cost?
Okay, so there are many programs, and I'm going to look up a program right now for you. They are expensive. Some programs, they may donate, like there was this one program on, but they were not a service dog. They don't really they were a dog breeder, but what they were doing was donating a dog to get trained as a service dog, and they were doing that for free. Now, some companies you may find they give service dogs away for children or people with special needs, but a lot of service dogs cost. Now, I feel like I think I was looking at one website and they were saying like the service dog cost.
Can you put that out for me when you get a deck box?
But it don't work.
For the trash, on the trash.
So, hold on one second. Powerhouse.
Yes.
Can you mute yourself real quick? So one program had a service. They said the service dog was like, say, $30,000, but the family didn't have to come up with all of that money. So the family would have to fundraise maybe 17,000 of that, and then pretty much what they do is you kind of go in there and you have a consultation. You tell them, okay, this is what my son. So I would say my son is on the spectrum and he's an eloper and he headbangs and he bites his wrist. So those are like the things that I would want my service dog to kind of help him with. And then they would, meet Daniel and they would kind of see the dogs that they have and what would be a good fit for him. So once you find the dog that's going to be a good fit for your child, then they take the dog and they get the dog service as a service dog. So the dog has to go through training. And what happens is you don't get that dog up front. The dog has to go through training, and say the training is 6 months. So throughout that 6 months, the dog is going through all type of trainings, public safety training. So when you have a service dog, your dog can go anywhere you go. If I go to the supermarket, that dog and Daniel's with me, that dog can go to the supermarket, even if Daniel's not with me, because you still need to continuously train your service dog. The dog can go to the supermarket. The dog can go to a restaurant. If you go to the movies, the dog can go to the movies with you. And a service animal does not only have to be a dog. You can have a service cat. Some children have service ponies. I done seen groups on Facebook where they have service rabbits, but mainly a service animal typically looks like children and adults having service dogs. So anywhere I go, Daniel goes, that service dog can go. Just like autism is a protected class, that dog is a protected because it's a medical device. It's just like if a person had a wheelchair, that wheelchair is a medical device for a person who cannot walk. So if a child is on a spectrum and they have a service animal, that service animal is a medical device for that child. So that's why the dog will be able to go anywhere that Daniel goes.
Mm,
That is amazing.
it is. It is. Mm.
So what would we have to do to get Daniel a service dog?
So to get Daniel a service dog, we would have to find a company that provides service dogs, and some companies have waiting lists. So we would either have to be put on a waiting list. If they don't have a waiting list, we have to fill out paperwork, fundraise money to get the service dog for him. Sometimes, like I said, there's a waiting list, so we can fundraise, but there might not be a service dog for Daniel at that moment. So you have to see how long the wait lists are. Some places are not close. I know, like, say some a place might say, okay, we have a service animal, but you have to come here. So what they want you to do is they want you to come to the facility because they need to meet you. They want to know, that you're going to take care of this animal, because it's not like we're just getting a pet for your home. This is like they're putting money into training this animal. You're putting money into this, and they want to know that you're serious about it. Also, when you have a service animal, most times they don't want you to have another dog in the house. Some companies say it's okay if you have like a cat, but they don't typically want you to have another dog in the house if you're getting a service animal. And then once you get a service animal, the service animal can only work for a certain amount of time. So they retire after so long, and I'm not really sure. I guess it kind of depends on the company, how long they suggest that you have your service dog working. So say if Daniel had a service dog and he had it for 7 years, and then within the company they say, well, we only allow our dogs to work 7 years. They have it where if you already have a service dog, you don't have to start the whole process of getting a new service dog over again. You kind of just, let them know, okay, well, my 7 years is coming up, and I'm going to need another service dog. So they I don't know, because like I said, we don't have a service dog, but on the website it's pretty much was saying that they don't have to go through the same process again as going to get the original service dog. Yes, you have tomorrow.
So what happens to the service dog? It retires? Does it go away from your home, or what happens?
No, you still have that service dog, and what they'll do is, because you're using the same company, they'll let you have another dog because they know the temperament of the dogs that they're sending out. So that's kind of why they don't want you to have another dog, because they don't know where you got that dog from and how's that dog going to react to the service animal. So it's kind of like, since you already went through this company and they know how the dog is trained, even though your service dog, I mean, because 7 years, to really be honest, is not that long. And I'm just throwing that out. That's not like I'm saying, oh, that's set in stone. I'm just giving like a number. But the service dog, just because it's retired, doesn't mean that it's still not going to perform those services for your child, because that that dog is still going to know the same things that they've been doing for those 7 years to help your child out. So they'll still perform those same services. It just, like you wouldn't take the dog out like as an actual service animal if you got another dog.
Oh. I like that.
Anything else? We have about like 10 more minutes, ladies.
That was really interesting. I really didn't know all of the information surrounding the service dogs. Of course, I've been out and seen people with service animals, but I didn't know all of those details or the backstory behind how much it takes to get a dog or service animal prepared to provide services. So thank you for giving us the information.
No problem. And
Yeah.
another thing with service animals, some companies want your child to be a certain age. Some companies don't have age limits, but a lot, I'm not gonna say a lot, I would say out of the companies that I saw, maybe 2 to 3 was saying that the child had to be 10 years old to get the dog. Some said 3 years old. So you have to really do your research and find a company that's going to really work for you. I'm still in the process of doing the research. I would love to get Daniel a service dog. I feel like for him it would be beneficial. I don't really know, like he's pretty, I don't want to say a loner, but he definitely likes to be in his own world.
Yeah.
So like just to make sure like he has a companion. I mean, he plays with his brother sometimes, but that's like not that often. He'd rather like have his little tablet or his little things that he wants to play with at the time and be by himself. So I think for people on the spectrum, it's good to, if they are able to have a service dog, because some people don't know how to make friends. And if you had a dog growing up, and not even to say like a service dog, like they're what do people call dogs? Man's best friend, and they call them that for a reason. So it gives children like an outlet. And some people that I've been watching that children have service dogs, they say that once the child got the service dog, it kind of opened them up a little bit more and made them more social and helped them to gain friends, because the child was now engaging with people that they would not have engaged with, because people are curious about the dog. So it kind of is like a conversation starter also. But you have to be careful with that, because you're not supposed to touch a working dog. So if you see a dog and it's a service animal, please don't touch it. If you would like to ask questions, ask the handler if it's okay for you to touch the service dog, because you don't want to distract them from missing a cue, because service dogs do so many things for different people. And if you distract the service dog, they might miss a cue that could save their person's life.
Wow, this is powerhouse. This is some very, very vital and important information. I never knew all of this. This is interesting. Keep up the good work, Evelyn. I really appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you.
Well, I thank you for that information, because I love dogs, and every time I see a dog, I want to pet them. But then, just like you said, I had to think about it. Sometimes they might be on the bus or something, and I want to rub them, but I say no, no. I know I'm not supposed to do that because I'm not supposed to take his attention away
Yes.
from that person.
Yes.
I at first I didn't really know it, but you kind of confirmed it. so, so I won't do it.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Does
But
anyone else?
when exactly, how long have that program been going on, as far as the service dog? I've never heard of that.
Oh, Miss Rhonda, service dogs have been around for a long time. So they're not just for people with autism. Service dog can be for people who have hearing, mobility issues, people that are blind, for
Yeah.
Army veterans, military personnel who suffer from
Yes.
PTSD.
Yeah.
Miss Rhonda, I can't tell you how long it's been around because, like I
Oh,
said,
okay.
I only learned about service dogs because of Daniel having autism and doing research and watching different videos and coming across a family that had a service dog for their daughter. So that's when I kind of got introduced to service dogs, and
Okay.
that's what sparked my interest. And that was I would say maybe 2 years ago that I
Okay.
found out about service
About
dogs.
okay. Well, I'm sorry, I wasn't really clear. I knew about the service dogs, but they were usually with people that were blind. I've never heard of a service dog for an autistic person.
Yes.
I had never heard that. That is so
Yes.
wonderful. That is so wonderful. Oh my goodness. Wow.
So
Mm.
I never, like prior to me doing research, I didn't really, know about the service dog for autism either. And then, they have service dogs and then they have emotional support dogs. Now, there's a difference between an emotional support dog and a service dog. So with the emotional support dog, yes, give me 1 second, okay? With the emotional support dog, um, technically you're not supposed to take them. They don't really have access to all places like service animals do.
Oh,
And yes, so the emotional support animal, you can use it just as an emotional support animal, or you can get some emotional support animal trained to do like little tasks for you also. But if you are looking for the medical to be able to take your service animal to help your child out in public, you want to get a service animal.
okay.
That way you're able to take your animal wherever your child is going. That animal has the right to be there. So if someone says, oh, you can't have that dog there, and you do not have to have, a lot of people say you have to have like the vest that says this is a service animal. Some people have anxiety and they don't want it to be known as this is a service animal for X, Y, and Z. So they may not have the vest on, saying that I have this or this is this. But I personally, if I get a dog for Daniel, I definitely want to have I want it to be labeled as a service dog. So I would definitely have the dog with the working vest on so
Okay.
people know this is not a pet. This is not a dog that you can just come to and pet. This is an animal that is working. So I think people kind of do as they see fit for them. And I definitely would want to get Daniel a service animal because I think for him it would be beneficial. For me, it would be beneficial because I don't sleep good at night because I'm worried that he'll get up and
Yeah.
leave the house. So
Oh,
that
no.
service dog would be able to alert me to him moving around. So I am
Yeah.
definitely looking into the service animal in the near future.
And that's wonderful. Oh, wow. Okay.
So ladies, I want to say thank you for joining me tonight. If you don't have any more questions, I'm going to sign off here. And I just want to say again, thank you for joining me. I will be here every Thursday for Let's Talk Autism. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram. I am starting my podcast, and all of the handles are Mom's Little Corner. If you have any questions, I'm available. Please don't hesitate to send me a message on Facebook or Instagram, whatever social media you're on, and have a great night. And remember, if you
You
met
too.
one person with autism, you met one person with autism. Have a great
Yes, great information.
Great.
And don't forget to send me the information for me to purchase those things for my grandson.
Yes, I will get with you after this, okay?
Okay,
Thank you.
you're
Good
welcome.
night.
Good night.
Hey.